Look, that's my arm. Alright. Alright, well, hello, and I'm sorry, Dougie, I'm so sorry. Hello, happy Monday, welcome to FTM Transtastic. My name is Eden-Marcel, and this week's topic, we are speaking about sexuality and navigating our sexualities. So, I would like to do, like, a timeline, which I figure would be the best way, to explain this. It's really not too much to explain. I mean, I can definitely tell you that I do identify as demisexual, but it took me a really long time to get there, and it was definitely because I didn't have the language, which is, like, the case with a lot of things. But, yeah, so, here's my journey to becoming a demisexual. Alright, so 1993, definitely was, like, into boys and stuff like that, but I was super tomboyish or whatever, like, so I was super into boys, and then, I don't know, so I guess, like, in that point in time, I was identifying as heterosexual, which is weird to think about because I was, like, fucking 5, but, and so from there into, like, oh geez, I don't know, maybe like 2nd grade, I was still, like, in some way identifying that way, but I really, really liked girls, you know, whatever the fuck that meant back then. Like, I mean, I know what it meant back then, or at least it seemed that way to me, but, yeah, but I still, like, I didn't really know how to like girls, if that makes sense, because I didn't really, like, I'd seen it on TV or whatever, but I was just kind of like, oh, I just don't know if this can be, like, real, like, so, and plus, like, I was, like, 7, so I just kind of, like, let that slide and let that go, and then, you know, I guess, like, about, like, 4th grade-ish, I was kind of, like, accepting it more, where it was just like, oh fuck, I, like, really like girls, and I just, like, was still doing stuff to, like, try to fit in, with some of the other girls, but I was always, like, super tomboyish and just, like, down to hang out with anybody for the most part, but not fitting in was kind of tough, especially since I knew that I liked girls, so around, like, 6th grade, I guess, it was pretty much my give up the ghost, like, mask off, let it fly, you know, so, definitely had, like, boyfriends, whatever, was still super into girls, and then, like, I was just kind of like, fuck it, I didn't tell anyone, but I was identifying as, like, in my mind, it was easier to identify as, like, bisexual, because it gave me a reason to, like, feel more settled about liking girls, because I still, like, liked, guys at the time, too, so it felt like a comfortable, like, in-between, but from there, it was completely apparent, like, I mean, it was always apparent, but, like, really, 9th grade, say, started identifying as lesbian, which was, you know, once again, some pretty interesting times in my high school life, but, you know, high school is high school, and people were mad chill and, like, chill with me, which was rad, but I still, like, there was just something about, like, identifying as lesbian that still wasn't really resonating with me, because I was attracted to, like, gay boys, like, that's just, I mean, and I felt more connected to them, and not really, you know, with anyone that was within the community of, like, you know, just, like, being a lesbian at that time. So, like, a couple years went by, and then I was like, okay, cool, like, I just want to be called gay, like, I don't want people to call me lesbian anymore, I was like, I just want people to refer to me as, like, gay, which worked out, I mean, like, it was totally cool, it definitely worked out, but, that, I'm really grateful that I made that decision, because, it helped me out a lot, just, like, helping me navigate, and then just really, like, connect with my sexual identity just, like, a little bit closer, even though I was, like, still so far away. So that was great, and then I moved out here, I moved out to the Bay, and everyone kept talking about being queer, and I was just like blowing my fucking Midwestern mind, because I'm from Kansas City, and it's pretty like, you're gay, you're straight, you're a lesbian, or you're trans, and that's, you know, like, from when I was growing up, that was like all I see. Like, there weren't any people identifying as like non-binary, or like genderqueer, which was pretty interesting. So I came out here, and everyone's like, "Oh, we're queer," and I'm just like, "Why can't? What is going on?" Like, it just like my fucking head's gonna explode. Like, there's just so much new information that I have to intake. So after like having that go down and figuring out, like having all these conversations with people that I was not only gay, but like I was like, my identity like really started to resonate as like, and come out as like trans, and then also still being gay, but like not really figuring out like throughout all those years and identifying as heterosexual, like bisexual, and just like, you know, like as a lesbian and then like gay, that it was really hard for me to like engage in having any kind of like sexual like relations with anyone, because I was so uncomfortable with my body really hard. So I just felt like sex was just like, I was like obligated because I was like dating that person, but just because I was dating them didn't mean that I had like quite the emotional like depth and capacity like that the relationship should have had for me to like, in retrospect, like want to have sex, which kind of really sucks. For like a lot of obligatory sex, but you know, like it was, you know, it was consensual, so like, I don't know. No, just like finally finding something that I can latch onto and like really identify with, and that's just like being demisexual. It just makes so much more sense to me, like thinking about just like going back and like my sexual like history and past, and like how I was identifying and why this was like this, or like why that wasn't like that. It just makes a lot more sense to me. But yeah, I guess that's from 93 to 2017. Yeah, that's like my weird identity route and shift. But yeah, I don't know if you have any questions about demisexuality and or anything else. If you have anything you want to say, please just leave them in the comments. I love and appreciate every single comment that is left. If you're feeling it, you can thumbs it up. If you're not feeling it, thumbs it down. It's all good. But yeah, happy Monday. Hope this was a nice evening treat for you, and I'll talk to you next Monday. Thank you.